Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, I need to share this again. In case everyone knows right now, or doesn't know, well, both sides. Tucker Carlson made an interview with Javier Milei. Who is Javier Milei? He already explained it here. He's a libertarian in Argentina, and is the person they need the most right now. Because Argentina is cock. I already made videos, well, since the start of the channels, how they are just fucking destroyed economically and socially because not only they adopted the socialist economics ideas, they endorse and spread the woke ideas. To- They are just so desperate. Their inflation is as high just as much as Venezuela. They're just fuck. And look at this. Through the whole interview, this is the main topics that he touched with Javier Milei. Gender ideology, inflation, gender ideology, abortion, Pope Francis' affinity for dictators. I heard a funny phrase there, but well, I saved it for another day. Architecture, advice to Americans, and Donald Trump. Yeah, never endorse communism. China climate change, China, prayer, and of course, violent political protests. We can resume that yeah, inflation is because they fucking embraced socialism for almost a century. Second off, gender ideology, yeah. Feminism, female supremacy, the Transformers idea, how they can pay less taxes, how they mimic the same fucking retarded mindset Spain has now. And then second for abortion. He explicitly said, yeah, women have the right to their body, but as soon as life starts growing inside, they don't have control of that life because it's not part of their body. It's just a life. And if you try to abort, well, you are just committing Minecrafting, and oh man, it's perfect. You are committing Minecrafting, and they are doing it in the very, very severe case in the eyes of the law. Why? Because they say that life cannot defend itself. So yeah, you are going to get fucked if you abort, and your punishment will be fucking severe, and I fucking agree. Second up, Pope Francis. Well, he endorsed communist, and that's why Milei called him a fucking communist. And I agree. Architecture, how leftists uglify architecture and art, because well, beautiful old architecture, it happens to have the old traditional liberalism and free ideas. There is a mix between words, just like even Millet expressed how between the US and the rest of the world, liberalism are so confused. When it comes to the liberalism, the old traditional one is what could be the old classic libertarian that Javier Milei is. And second off, when it comes to US, when you mean liberal person, liberalism, you mean your typical California dipshit goofball. So, well, the more you go socialist, the more you get fucked. And I expressed how the Soviet Union they started to play this shit. On top of that, yeah, that same shit when they decide, yeah, the same kind of architecture to just suppress ideas to of everyone else. Well, it can actually replicate and you see the fucking same result. Socialism, communism doesn't work. Then you have advice to Americans and Donald Trump. Never embrace socialism. I already said that. Because you're going to get fucked. You're going to end like us. Climate change. Yeah, he does. Climate change is just a fucking scam. Scam by the elites. And on top of that, you have these environmental terrorists that say "Mm, humans are the root of evil and it should be Minecrafted and we should depopulate there. They are the fucking eco terrorists. They are with George Soros and BlackRock. That's what they are pushing for policies to Minecraft more people. Then you have China. He expressed explicitly that he is not going to deal with communists, and when he said that it was referred to the government. But well, if the people want to make business with them, commercial business, well, go ahead. It's your choice. I know, I agree with that. And he is a man of prayer. And for at last, he got asked about the violent political protest, just like yeah, it's pressed here. Why? Because they fear. Well, Tucker Carlson fear that is going to be another Black Lives Matter, another Summer of Love, another George Kirby. Well, but the reality of what he said is no. Why? Because it's not going to be like Brazil. Because Brazil had yeah, a little of that stuff happened because yeah, Lula is a fucking installed communist. I forgot to mention that he specifically said yeah, we are not going to deal with Venezuelans and with Brazilians because they elected a fucking dictator who preached communism. Well, sorry for them, but yeah, Brazil is fucked now. And why I mentioned Brazil because well, yeah, they protested, but well, there was the good fight here, and all while the mainstream media stayed silent when Summer of Love occurred. That's the thing. These people I already expressed how fucking retarded Argentinians are for embracing communism, and it looks like finally a very large majority they want to stop being fucking retarded. And well, they have Javier Milei. Well, be a socialist retarded person. Well, you know the consequences of that. California is an example. Venezuela is an example. Brazil is heading to the same way. Mexico is heading to the same way. Colombia is heading to the same way. Chile, Ecuador, and then you have the European Union as a whole. How it embraced socialism, and they still want to gaslight you into thinking it's not socialism or communism, whatever. They preach the same stuff. This is the kind of president Argentina needs right now, right fucking now, because they got so fucked over by socialism. They are going to ditch their money, and why I mean that the Argentinian peso. He explicitly said before through his campaign, in case everyone doesn't know Milei, he said, "Fuck Argentina peso. Nobody wants Argentinian peso. We cannot help that coin. We need to change it to dollars because we are just like at the start of the
Capital of Argentina. This was once about 100 years ago one of the richest cities in the world, and you could tell as you walk around the faded grandeur of a once great city, but this is now a desperate country. Its economy is in shambles, has been for a long time. Argentina famously defaulted on its debt more than 20 years ago. But now hyperinflation has made this country genuinely desperate. You see, when you have dinner here in restaurants and people pull out bricks of local currency, the peso.
BRICS or local currency. For give you an example of how bad this is, let me show you. This is Mexican peso in exchange with a US dollar. Now, Mexican peso to Argentine peso. Look how they fuck they are. They need him. I I wish my president would be like him because if he actually can pull something and he is so coherent in the way how he speaks and how he expressed his ideas, especially how he nailed on this, I'm all for it. But well, Argentina, don't let that guy go. Oh, and specifically, don't let the fucking CIA intervene in your country because they are going to intervene. Even though you are not worth, and it's very fucking shitty for me to say, but that's the reality. You are not worth your country other than your fucking territory. They could even create those fucking 15 minute cities, and you can fall into your Soro era, the Black Rock, Klaus Schwab, Utopia. Don't let that happen. That's pretty much everything I needed to say. I hope you have a pretty good day.